What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy JR in for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, we got some news for you, man, right now. I was gonna say we got some worrying news, but listen, man, Conor Benn didn't do nothing in there. Yeah, apart from drain this dude down to his socks. Nonetheless, let's get to the leaked footage that no one's seen before. Where are we? Here we go, people. Whoa, me bumped. Alright, so I can't play the footage. What I can do though, it doesn't really matter. You've heard it, you've seen the things already. If you look, if you look carefully here, worms. Wow, the vape killing, man. Surely them Cabal liquids they killing, man. For sure, there's no doubt about that on people. The Cabal liquid, bash. Okay, you can see Eubank here, and the ambulance there. Where is it? Where's his head? I don't know where he's gone. No, there he is. There's Eubank. That's a plumber, actually. I don't know where Eubank's from. Either way, Eubank was taken. There he is. There's Eubank's head. There's his Barnet from Turkey. Okay. There's the ambulance. He gets into the ambulance. You can see it, obviously. Ambulance, man. You know what an ambulance looks like. Okay, he got taken to hospital. More people have reported on it. Let's get to the sources we got. Because we don't do no cap in here. Yeah? This ain't Cap FM. This is pure, unadulterated, leaked, exclusive sources ain't no one seen before. Every time. You best believe it. On recommendation of the on-site doctor, Chris Eubank Jr. has been taken to hospital by ambulance. That's reported by Boxer now. It's 10 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, bash, as we speak. And I've been stalking Eubank's Instagram pause, waiting for the update. Which is, I ain't gonna lie, I started the video off saying there's a lot of hype behind it, but you'd think someone like Eubank, and most fighters, he likes to bask. He certainly wants to bask in this victory. So something has to be said. He did the post-fight interview, which actually I need to get up, but he did the post-fight interview in the ring. He missed the press conference. I don't believe Eubank Jr. would have wanted to miss the press conference by choice, if that makes sense. He's going to want to be there, not gloating, but giving us his bars, right? He missed that. So there must be an on-site doctor can recommend something. If you're A-OK, you tell the plumber, listen, man, I'm A-OK, right? So clearly, it's 10 a.m. now. The fight happened 12 hours ago. You'd think he'd have posted something, put a video out or a post out. There's nothing on his socials. There's Ring Magazine, who are the guys, they get the plays, right? These fighters are almost, they're mandingos, man. So they're forced to, Turkey said, hey man, give us some content. There's nothing on Ring Magazine from Chris. So this implies, to some extent, there might be something going on. Now, what is going on is the question. I'll tell you what's going on in a second. But let's show you, man, what Massa Hearns and Conor Benn, Eggy Hearns and Conor Benn, let's put out what they've been saying. Because listen, man, you got punched up. That's what you did. You man got punched up, man. Stop playing with me. You got punched up. I broke his jaw. He in hospital. You got punched up, man. Eubank's legs was finished. That's what they was. They was finished. Look at his face here, look. I want to show you his face as well. I've never seen Eubank's face like this in an interview. These, to me, am I a professional boxer? No. Am I the second coming of Muhammad Ahmad? I'm a doctor? No, I'm not. What I can tell you is, in my experience, this kind of swelling, they look like headbutt swelling. That cut is a headbutt swelling. So when you've been water drained, and a dude, to be fair to Ben, he wasn't purposefully doing it, but purposefully or not, headbutts are headbutts, man. He got headbutted after death here, Eubank did. He's weight drained, he's headbutted, and he's exhausted because of the water draining. Now, I was meant to show you, but I'll play the clip here. Here's Conor Benn giving his, what would you call it? He's like, yeah, would you call it a two-sided compliment or something like that? Oh yeah, I hope Eubank's well. At the same time, I broke his jaw and he's in hospital. It's one of them. Here we go.
It's a blessing to be flying back on Bristol.
Whoa.
Is there a high level of respect?
That's way too quick.
between you and Junior now?
I mean, I wish him well. You know, I know he's gone to the hospital. I've heard he's got a broken jaw.
There you go. So, I wish him well, but I broke his jaw and he's in hospital. That's what Team Hen will be living off that. Oh, we put you in hospital. Oh, we did this. Oh, we did that. You did nothing, man. Eubank walked out the ring. He did his post-fight interview and he was drained. That's what this was about, people. This really wasn't, from Eubank or anyone's perspective, really, this wasn't a butchering. It wasn't like he's proper. I've seen fighters, Adonis Stevenson versus Vosdick, taking blunt force blows. Or any, you don't even have to go to the extremes there. We've seen fighters take a lot of blows. I wouldn't sit here and tell you Eubank took a lot of blows. There was a few shots here and there. There wasn't. You wouldn't say he was proper. He won the fight, right? He won the fight, and he would have won it by 10 rounds, 10-2. Sorry, if his legs hadn't give out. Why did his legs give out? Is it Conor Benn whacking him? No, it was not. So the evidence I've got is not his jaw ain't broken, man. Let's listen for a second to Junior in his post-fight interview. Just a few, for example.
I underestimated him. You know, I didn't train for a fight like that. You know, I didn't know he had that in him.
Okay. The point of me showing you that is, if your jaw is broken, there should be some slurring or whatnot. Never mind the fact Eubank at this point is water drained from the sweat he's lost. He was already water drained before he got into this ring. And if you notice, and I was getting worried before the fight, to be honest, if you watch that walkout and whatnot, and when they get into the ring, Eubank kept asking for the water. Did you see that? I was like, oh no, very unusual. I've never seen a fighter. Normally fighters don't want to be bloated, particularly at the start of a fight. You're supposed to be hydrated. You're supposed to have been drinking all day, so you're not really fancying some water just before you start. You don't want to be filled with water. Eubank kept saying, drink, oh, give me more, tip it this way, tip it that. I was thinking, oh, he was bone dry, man. He was bone dry. Plus he's done 12 rounds. When you're dehydrated and your mouth's dry, it's hard to talk. When you've been physically exerted, it's hard to talk. The point, Eubank's talking just fine. There's no broken jaw there, man. If you had a broken jaw, plus all the exhaustion, plus your dehydration, your voice is going to be off. He sounds exactly like he normally does. There's nothing wrong with his jaw. You seen Fraser Clark's jaw? Oh. I've seen fighters with Dave Allen got his jaw broken. He's like this, talking like he can't move it up and down. It's painful. Yeah, his jaw's just fine. Your weight drained him down to his boots, is what you did, Conor Benn. I've never seen nothing like it. And even if we look at historical standards, the precedent for fighters staying at one weight their whole career is very unusual, especially in the new age. Back in the day, I think Eubank Senior said, them old school man, they wasn't draining down so much. As science has improved, allegedly, these nutritionist types, they know how to enable you to be able to cut 20 pounds, which is actually a bad thing. Back in the day, old school man would be about no more than 10 pounds above their fighting weight. No more. Tops. Top. Some would rock in there 5-6 pounds. Will be not walking around, but training weight 5-6 pounds over. It's a new age thing where fighters are, I'd argue it's probably an estrogenic thing as well, where fighters are, when you think about people like McGregor, they're like, oh, I want to fight a smaller man. So they lose 25 pounds. Back in the day, men was putting a few pounds. I never remember hearing about old school fighters. And Carl Froch mentioned this himself. Carl Froch, apparently, he was like 8 pounds out before fight day. Or 6, 7, 8 pounds out. Old school man, they weren't boiling down 20 pounds. They weren't sitting in saunas the day of the fight to get their rehydration clause locked in, for example. What was my point here? That was it. The precedent of being at one weight your whole career. So back in the day, I think Eubank Senior, he might have been at 160 for most of his career. But like I said, the difference is, and even then, let me check the record there, if that's correct. But even then, Eubank Senior said, towards the end of his career, and he retired early, like 30 or something. But even then, at the end of his career at 30 or whatever, he was still finding his career weight hard, despite the fact he was never doing a monster cut. So to put it into perspective, he's 168, yeah. Okay, no, he did come from... Yeah, but even... No, look, Eubank Senior started at 154. And he went up to 160 and then 168. So, and he was out of there at like 30. Right? Chris Eubank Senior started at 154 and ended at... Did he win a world title at 168? Yeah, he won a world title at 168. So, he's moved up 2 weight divisions since he started. Eubank at 35, which is much older than Senior was, is still at 154 essentially. Still at the weight he started at. Unparalleled. And I'm trying to think of someone who's made it look good. Okay, Golovkin. I'd say Golovkin at 160. He maybe pulled it off. But the level of competition was a bit dead. It was a bit dead. Again, no, I don't think Golovkin was known. I never remember watching a Golovkin fight and thinking he looked physically massive compared to the other guy. His presence was daunting because of his experience and whatever else and how he's like in the ring, but I never remember thinking, oh, this guy's a weight bully. Like, for example, Benavidez at 168. He's just massive in there. Golovkin's more of the old school. Golovkin wasn't getting in the ring 180. Fighting at 160, he wasn't doing that. There wasn't much change there. Eubank, on the other hand, even Frotz said Eubank is not a 168 fighter, but at his age, at 35, Eubank was probably 165 at 30, but at 35, it's just one of them things. And clearly, if he's the bottom line is, man, let's keep it simple. £10 should be the rule. If you fight at 160, absolutely hydrated, you should be 170. Senior says he's 180, 178. £18? Way too much, man. Way too much. He needs to move up at this point at 35. And the record shows that. In as much as his performance tonight, Eubank's the guy who he's heavy in the back straight. People don't want to be hanging. People can't hang with Eubank in the back straight. Fact. That great performance he had against Billy Joe as such, where he's just putting on levels and Billy's falling off. That was at 160, but 10 years. I think it was more than that. I think it's like, how many years? I think it's 12 years ago. At 12 years ago, he was at 160. Doing that. You can't be cutting, boiling down, and then having a rehydration clause on it, and not expect and be sipping your drink just before you start, like back and give me water. No, there's no broken jaw. I've proven it to you already. Nothing wrong with his jaw. There's headbutts and dehydration, and it's dangerous, people. Yeah, the governing bodies need to introduce a rule that says there needs to be some sort of passport system. I'm not sure how you do it, but let's think of an example here where, I don't know, 4 weeks out, you can't be more than £10 over. Yeah? 4 weeks out, you can't be more than £10 over. You need to be it makes sense. You need to be at your weight, man. Cutting £10 should be the absolute top, which would make the rehydration clauses null and void. No man should... I don't even really like the fact they lose £10, to be honest. Everyone should just move up in weights. So the 160 pounder should all be 168, no weight cuts. The 154 should be 160, no weight cuts. That's what should happen. It doesn't make sense. Because all these new age, man, they're all trying to find an edge. Oh, if I cut 30 pounds, I can fight a new age. Really? You're a shadow of yourself. You can't hold a shot. You're knackered in the back straight. It actually ruins fights. You don't have confidence in your cardio because you might have no water left in your bones and you're cramping up. I think his legs were cramping up. That's what I think happened. And I think the reason he went to hospital in this case was he's already dehydrated. And when you're dehydrated and then you've done a 12-rounder and you've lost another few pounds, X amount of pounds, a few kilos probably, in water weight, it makes any damage and any headbutts you've taken, it makes them feel 10 times worse. You're like, oh, I might be dying here. Have you ever been gagging for a drink? Imagine having a fight and someone knocking you in the head, dehydrated, and you're losing sweat and your muscles are exhausted. It's like exponential exhaustion. Yeah? This was an exhaustion event. And we have the evidence. We saw the way his legs give out. His legs never give out like that, people. They just don't. Eubank Senior to some extent was right at 35. And it wasn't just a weight cut. I don't even really want to see him at 150, 64 to be honest. But think about it. If he's getting in the ring at 177, 178. And even that, for Eubank to get in the ring at 177 or 178, for him to do that, that still won't be fully hydrated. Because he's only had 10 hours to rehydrate. He probably really is 180. This is ridiculous, man. 17 pounds. No, he should be at 168 at this point and lose 10. Because whatever he's gained, I have to say this now, after seeing his performance, whatever Eubank has gained from smaller and a smaller man, in them last 6 rounds he lost. If that makes sense. It's no good fighting a smaller man if you ain't got the gas and you ain't got the water to be able to carry that pace. I'd rather feel healthy in the ring. But what do I know? Nothing, probably. There might be a reason why people like to stay at lower weights. But look at Canelo. Yes, he has pound for pound skills, but he could go down to 160. Look at Floyd. Floyd said, I can't be asked to cut no more weight no more. Floyd would literally walk around at 147 and jump in at 147. Obviously, he's the absolute pinnacle. He can get away with it. Canelo, he don't cut much weight no more. He's within the 10 pound weight cutting situation now. So, in terms of a rematch, honestly, another 6 months of age, he's going to be, 36? I do believe, I'm 99% sure we're seeing dehydration and exhaustion. No man should have to fight. I get it, he agreed to it. I don't know why he agreed to it. Ben needed this fight. Where's Ben's big money payday coming from? Really? This is the fight that will propel Ben into the big money paydays. Ben on his own? Who's he going to fight? 147, who's there? It's a bunch of Americans, like random American-Mexican type dudes, like Mario Barrios. That's not making no money. You're not making life-changing money from that. Where was his big blockbuster coming from? He's young enough where someone could come up, but it's unlikely. I guess you can argue Devin Haney in there, man. There'll be some American type ones at 147 for Ben. But I believe this fight will be the biggest fight in Ben's career, kind of thing. He's not going to get a Canelo fight, is he? So this is the best one he can hope for. Hence, Eubank had the leverage. He gave it all up. He gave up the ring size, which is fair enough. It didn't make much difference. He's also given up the rehydration. He's also given up the one. I guess he's not giving up the 160, but he's older now, man. I think his ego's too big. He thinks, I've done it once, I'll do it again. That's not what I saw tonight. Is it possible it was nothing to do with the water? Eddie Hearn says, it's nothing to do with the water, mate. We broke his jaw and he had to go to hospital. One of two things has to be true. It was either water or his legs are shot or some injury. That is what I saw there, man. That wasn't Conor Benn blowing his legs out. I've seen people get their legs blown out before. Look at Zhang versus Caballero. That's how you get your legs blown out. Look at Frank Caballero versus Frank Sanchez. That's how you get your legs blown out, man. Someone's on your ass and touching you and you can't get a breath. That's how your legs give out and touching your body. Ben wasn't doing that. I'll never believe Conor Benn wore his legs out and Eubank couldn't jab anymore and couldn't move anymore because of Ben. Never. Didn't do anything in there, really. Not consistently. Caballero, that's how you pop someone's chops and take it to them and blow their back out. Yeah? Unrelenting pressure, walking straight in and just touching you. Ben wasn't doing that. We've seen Groves in here. Groves did a better job, clearly, than Ben did, and a bigger man. Eubank, if that fight had gone another few rounds, he'd have won that with Groves. It was somewhat of a close fight. Eubank's the guy with the engine. Never. So either he's got to 35 and his legs have fell off completely, and or is injured, and or it's water exhaustion. The only thing we can really control is the water exhaustion. Yeah? It's not healthy, man. And this needs to be a big wake-up call. This needs to be a big wake-up call for Eubank. This ain't a game. Well, I guess it is a game. I don't think Ben's not going to hurt him as such. But them last few rounds did look ropey. And he should not take this rematch unless that moody rehydration clause at the very least. I think, listen, Ben. You need me. I don't need you. I've made my money. Yeah? That's number one. Number two, I beat your ass. That's how it's supposed to go. When you beat someone, Ben was giving it all. The horsehair gloves, the small ring, the moody rehydration rubbish. He was giving it all and he lost. I'm the boss now. I'm the Canelo in this situation now. And hence, if you want this get back, if you want your virginity given back, I popped your, come on, man. I popped your cherry, man. Took you. Oh, take it. That's what I did to your ass. If you want it back, we're doing it at 164, 168, man. I'll do it at 168 right now. What are you gonna do? Do you want it back or not? Do you want your cherry back or not, bro? Because right now we 3-0. Yeah. A Ben can never beat a Eubank. Those are the bars I'll be coming out publicly saying. If you want this get back, it's a 168. That contract's null and void. Oops. 168, no rehydration clause. How much do you want it, man? End of the day, do you want it or not? Oh, you don't want it? No worries. I'll move on and fight Canelo. Chris is better off getting in there with Canelo for... That'll be a bigger payday than this, especially on the back of this Ben fight. Canelo will be a bigger payday than Ben, I'd have thought. Certainly in the realm. So he's got options. If he gets beat by Ben, Eddie Hearn will look up to set up Ben versus Canelo. That's what he'll do. That's what he'll try to do. So that Ben fight's not going nowhere, man. Fuck Canelo. I guess Canelo's going to be busy until next year now with Crawford in September. But listen, man. Be careful, Chris. That's what I'll say. Because you don't want to lose to Ben. What I'm seeing, Ben's going to get... He's in the prime of his life. He's going to get another 6 months better. You're at the end of your career. And that was not a good look, that last few rounds, man. He was just exhausted. You don't want to have it where Ben gets a little bit more confident, has a bit more of a go, and this time your legs give out in round 4. Chris just about got there on raw heart and determination. You don't want to be in them situations, man. You need to be healthy, and your fighters should be protected. And the fighting mentality is, I'll do it anyway. I'll do it. I'll cut 50 pounds and fight this guy. I can still beat this plumber. I get it, but they need to be protected, man. I don't know what these managers are doing, man. What's Ben Shalom doing? Ben Shalom's like, well, Chris was happy with it. Chris ain't gonna say no, I won't do it. That's why he went down to 157. Wow. Yeah, that shows you. If a man will go down to 157, he can't even make 160 properly. If a man will go down to 157, that tells you he ain't thinking straight. Because Eubanks is always gonna think, I'll beat this guy. I could come down to 140 and beat this guy. That's what Eubank would say. Fact. Whether he thinks that or not, that's not smart. It's not your job to just be a... Well, I guess Ben Shalom wants his cut, doesn't he? He wants his 10%. That's a nice little payday he's made. It's $1 million. You need that money. It's just wrong though, man. I want to see two men at their best fight each other. You can argue, well, YB, Hen was light. He didn't really look... He looked smaller in height. He didn't look... I didn't think, whoa... I was telling you, man, the other day, this is going to look like Errol Spence. Someone made a good point. It wasn't my bar, but do you remember Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia? And it was just a proper washing. Spence was massive in there. That's how I was expecting it to look. It didn't at all. And that was Mikey Garcia was coming up. I think Mikey Garcia was world champion at 140, certainly 135, and he jumped up to 147 and just looked silly in there. I was expecting that. Ben was really he's very quick, very good head movement. If he had a little bit more confidence and a little bit more commitment, he might have done better. So I don't see why they can't go up some more. But at the very minimum, I don't want to see Eubank, unless it turns out he had an injury, which explains... If he comes out and says, listen, man, the water was fine, I was full of beans, but my Achilles went like David Hay, I'll say whatever, to keep doing what you're doing. But if it's not that, if there's not any extenuating circumstances, I don't want to see him another 6 months later have to get in there. Another 6 months, the wrong 6 months. Ben's got the right 6 months on his way up. You've got the wrong 6 months. And it only takes... And who knows, maybe Eubank was having a really good night last night, weight drained. Imagine if you come in weight drained and you're having a stinker of a night. No. I don't want Eubank losing to Ben just because he's proper depleted. Yeah? Which is how it was looking. If Eubank had lost to Ben last night, it'd have been because he was depleted. That's what I saw. Because we know what Eubank be doing. His engine goes on for days. He's renowned for that. Is it possible he's got old overnight? Could be, I guess, but I don't think the weight's helping, that's for sure. One thing that will make your legs blow out quick will be you not having no water in your system. So just be careful, Chris, man. Don't. It's too late once you've lost. And I guess the thing is, Eubank has lost before to people. So maybe it's not a big deal to him. He won't believe he'll lose. He's just won, but I'm saying... It didn't look right to me, man. Honestly. The fight didn't look fair. I get it, Ben's smaller. But there's loads of fighters who are smaller. Look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was a small heavyweight. He'd be like 210, fighting guys 230 or whatever. He was a small heavyweight. There's nothing actually inherently wrong with it. And I didn't see nothing last night that tells me there's anything inherently wrong with Conor Benn being smaller. He's got the head movement, he's got the speed. The problem was he wasn't putting hands on Eubank until Eubank's wheels fell off. So if this fight was at 168 or 164 and no rehydration clause, I guess Eubank would box him up. Get boxed up. Ben knows that though. Yeah. Ben needed these moody situations to get a look in edgeways, is what we saw. He needed moody situations to get a look in edgeways. And if that's how he wants to win, it will be up to Eubank. It will be up to how the rematch is structured. Maybe Ben has a guarantee rematch clause, and in which case you can't change the rules. I don't know. I don't know the circumstances of it. And if that's the case, I just hope and pray that Eubank deserves to win, man. I'm sorry. And especially from what he showed in that first fight. He had nothing left, and he's in there just winging away, having a go. And Ben's supposed to be the pressure fighter. I'm going to put it on you. And he didn't put it on nothing. Anyway, hopefully Chris is okay. Hopefully he posts soon and lets us know what time it is. As time goes on, the fact he's not saying nothing, it's a little bit... Ooh. But listen, have you ever seen them documentaries of dudes stuck in a Sahara desert and they're dying from dehydration? That can take you like a week to recover from. Once you lose them electrolytes and that, it's not as simple as popping a Lucozade. It takes time to filter through and whatnot. It's a real thing. It's not a joke. You can die from dehydration, right? That's what we know for a fact. Never mind being punched in your head. Never mind headbutts. Never mind exerting yourself physically for 40 minutes. Very dangerous, silly. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, and let the bell 100%. There's no doubt about this. Some people stop it. But